Well, for the first time in a couple of weeks, the Mooseheads are set to return to the ice here at their practice facility in Dartmouth for what will be their final preseason game. The real thing starting real soon. We're fired up for that, and we're fired up for this one too. An All-Maritimes Division matchup. Get used to hearing that phrase this season. It's also the first time that Liam Payton will face his former club. It's the Islanders and the Mooseheads live from the RBC Center in Dartmouth. It's all coming up for you right now. Good afternoon, Moose Country. Thanks so much for joining us here. Training camp presented by Eastlink. My name is Gareth McDonald. Pleased to be joined here, as usual, by the Mooseheads' own Scott McIntosh. And Scotty, we're about to wrap up what has certainly been, I would think, the strangest preseason in Q-League history.
Yeah, absolutely. We're used to getting started, middle of August this year. I had to wait a little bit longer. It was all the way until September. Couple that with the fact that all teams had to get anyone from outside of Atlantic, Canada, all the way here in quarantine for a 2-week period. So that kicked things off a little bit strangely for all of the teams involved. And, it's been, just different, not having fans here, not having the parents of the players at training camp. Get used to meeting them and kind of getting to know the families a little bit, which we weren't able to do this season. So it has been a lot different. It's been quiet, and and there's been a big gap between games as well here for the Mooseheads.
Well, there definitely has been a big gap. This is the Mooseheads' first game since that little contest with the Sea Dogs back on September 13th. So a couple of weeks off right there. Moose, like we said, back in their home preseason facility. But playing games at home, that is not something that the Islanders have been able to do.
No, that's right, Gareth. They haven't even been in their own rink yet for practice because of COVID protocols in Prince Edward Island, preventing them from being at the Eastlink Center in Charlottetown. They've been practicing and doing training camp out of UPEI and not even allowed to play home games at all in the preseason on the island. So they've been, road warriors so far this preseason with a couple of games in Moncton and a couple of games in Bathurst.
Certainly, I think the big news here this week in Moose Country, the news just coming out yesterday, Justin Barron. He's going to miss a bit of time, will not be in the lineup here today. I know this is news. I'm sure that when Mooseheads fans saw it, a little concerned when you consider the amount of time that Justin Barron missed last year, but I believe you're able to tell us that it's not something that Mooseheads fans necessarily have to panic about.
Well, the good news is, or the bright side of things, this isn't a new injury. It's not like he was hurt during training camp and it's like, whoa, he's going to miss more time. This is more of a corrective procedure that was done and something he elected for. So, made the NHL teams aware of it as well. With the draft coming up, it's going to be a big draft for him in a couple of weeks.
Time now for the national anthem. Puck drop coming up in a moment. Cole McLaren getting the start here today for the Mooseheads. McLaren, the overager, will be looked to provide some solid net minding and a little leadership this year as well.
Absolutely. Cole is just one of those guys in the room that everybody looks up to. Excellent kid off the ice, and is really going to provide some stability and reliability between the pipes for the Mooseheads.
And certainly stability and reliability. That is something that the Islanders will be looking to from Colton Ellis this season.
Yeah, huge pickup for the Islanders on draft day. It was a kind of a blockbuster deal with Rimouski to bring Colton Ellis, the former Cape Breton West Islander, to Charlottetown. And really he has the chance of being, one of, if not the best goaltender in the league this season.
And that seems to be a staple of that Islanders franchise. Solid goaltending going from Matt Welsh to Colton Ellis, and of course don't forget Jacob Gooby back there as well. As we are underway here in Dartmouth, Jordan Dumais trying to work that one up the left wing for Leroux. That was just out of his reach. Just allowing plays it behind the net, but a chance there. Leroux jamming away. Desnoyers trying to sniff that one out as well. And Elliot Desnoyers, he's had some points here in the preseason.
Yeah, right off the hop, you see this line that's been together throughout the entire postseason from head coach J.J. Daigneault and Elliot Desnoyers. A big part of that, along with Jordan Dumais and Zachary Leroux putting the pressure on. And Elliot, all kinds of points so far for him. He was actually named the player of the week for the Moose early on.
6 points in 3 games for Elliot Desnoyers. Picked up a helper on all 3 goals in that 6-3 loss to St. John back on September 13th. Couple of goals there for Jordan Dumais. As you said, this that top line, they've been looking real good so far for the Mooseheads. As Swan heads after it down here in the corner, making his return after missing the last couple of games. Oscar Plantowski coming away with that one over here for his partner Trudeau, who gains the red line. He'll dump that one in. Horvath throwing his weight around down there in the Mooseheads corner. Dubé trying to fish that one out here. 55 seconds into a scoreless opening period. Tomlinson will flip this one out through neutral ice. That will roll down toward Ellis. Picked up back there by Ryan Maynard. Up the right wing side to Brett Budgel. Budgel will work it in deep as Robinson heads after it. Partnered over to Tessier up the right wing. Islanders holding that one in. Centering pass right there from McCarthy. That missed its mark. Back to the line. Felix Tremblay, will let a shot go. It's off the goal stick at Cole McLaren. Felix Tremblay, a little bit of a new acquisition here on the back end for the Charlottetown Islanders. Came over in a trade with the Bank of Montreal back in early August.
Yes, and you mentioned James Swan, Gareth. Good to see him out there. The Mooseheads' second-round draft pick got injured early on in that first home game against the Cape Breton Eagles and kind of nursed an upper body injury for a bit, but he's back out there and excited to be on the ice today.
Sam Oliver lining up against Marcus Vidicek. Mooseheads' Marcus Vidicek, the first player that the Herd selected in the 2020 Q-League draft as Payton comes away with it here, streaking down the left wing side. Down to where the corner tried to chop it out front there. That was knocked down, and Alawan will poke this one up ahead. Thomas Casey on it there. He'll try to turn on the Jets as he heads after it. Lays a big bump on Hunt down to the corner. Now Vidicek on it for the Mooseheads. Back to Horvath. Horvath looking up the left wing right there. The Moose able to get that one out. Oliver back to Cormier. Cormier tried to float that one back into his own end. Vidicek just about able to knock that one down and take it away. Casey will swing it down low for Cormier. Took a bump from Furlong. And Elliot Desnoyers now up ahead for Dumais. Jordan Dumais got Leroux with him, and Leroux unable to get a stick on that one. Back to Furlong, a shot. And looking for the redirect there was Leroux in front. Cleared out the neutral ice. Why not? Over now for Desnoyers. He'll absorb a little hit from Plantowski as that rolls down toward Colton Ellis, and he'll cover it up with 17:22 to go here in his opening period.
Kind of a tricky little shot from Jake Furlong through traffic there, almost redirected, and I'm not sure Ellis saw it right off the bat. That line making things happen yet again. A nice little saucer pass as well from Dumais as he tried to hook up with Leroux.
Absolutely. Certainly a theme so far in the preseason for the Mooseheads as Dumais comes in to take that face off for Halifax. It's Brett Budgel winning that one. Why not? Trying to throw his weight around there. Looking to lay the body on Drew Elliott. Why not? Ahead now for Swan. He'll get over the red line, dumps it in. Colton Ellis way out of his net to play that one. Loose puck kept in by Moosehead Swan, but Trudeau will work it back up ice here. Tries to drive wide on Horvath. Good work down there in the corner from Trudeau. Bumped off the puck, and now Dubé picks it up for Halifax. Right through neutral ice. Knocked down there by the physical Anthony Hamel. Budgel will punch it in here for Charlottetown. Desnoyers heading after it. Behind the net. Tomlinson turning that one over. A centering effort there for Maynard. That's off a skate, and it's going to roll back down into the Charlottetown end. Beauregard off the end boards for Hamel. Hamel absorbing a hit from big Landon Myron down there in Islanders territory. Puck dumped in here by Boyd. Bounced on by McCarthy, who lost an edge down in the corner. Robinson ahead now for Foston. Out through center for Landon Myron. One hands it down into the Islanders zone. Charlottetown in transition now. Puck played up ahead for McCarthy. He'll launch that one in deep as McLaren stopped it for Liam Payton. Kieran Gallant playing it back for Lucas Cormier, the 4th overall pick of the 2018 Q-League draft. With the Mooseheads, Justin Barron, draft-eligible blue liner this season. And back behind the play, looks like we've got a Mooseheads penalty. It's going to be a hooking call, and this one's going to go to the former Charlottetown Islanders. Liam Payton makes his way to where the penalty box.
Yeah, Liam Payton, an Ontario guy, and we know Jim Holton has been great at bringing in Ontario players, Ontario guy himself as well, and one of those coaches that's such a well-respected guy. Gets a lot out of his players, doesn't he, Gareth?
Absolutely. That's talked about one of the themes with the Islanders clubs over the last few seasons being solid goaltending, certainly solid defensive play as well. Holton's team's always a hard-working group and a lot of success with those Ontario free agents as Plandowski will play it back to Cormier. Back to Plandowski, down low. It's centering pass, ending up back at the blue line for Cormier. Dished off for Plandowski, looking rink wide. That's off a stick, up and out of play with 15:01 to go. 21 seconds down on this Charlottetown power play.
I think you're going to hear a lot of Cormier, Plandowski, Lowen this year. That's really a strength of this team is their defense core. And I know Oscar Plandowski's father, Daryl, is in the house today, an NHL scout with the Tampa Bay Lightning. No doubt also keeping an eye on the NHL these days.
Well, absolutely. As we said, that draft coming up, bumped back a couple of months this season, but it'll be an exciting time for a lot of young Q-League players in a couple of weeks. Cormier out of his own end. We'll bump that one back as he hits the red line. DeRousseau will send that one in deep for Charlottetown as Casey takes a bump down there in the corner from the Mooseheads rookie, Alex Tessier. Back to Cormier. He'll launch it rink wide here for Plandowski. Plandowski to Cormier. One-timer, and Swan getting in that lane, and he's able to redirect that one up and out of play. And we talked about James Swan before, one of the many Lac St. Louis Lions here on this Mooseheads roster this season.
Absolutely, and we talked about him suffering through an upper body injury. May have noticed the Mooseheads have dressed 11 forwards today. Alex David sitting out yet again. He's kind of got a nagging lower body injury, but is fully expected to be ready for opening night against Cape Breton.
Mooseheads clearing it out here with 55 seconds left on Liam Payton's hooking penalty. Trudeau out of his own end with it. Plays that one up ahead for LeBlanc, who's had a pretty good little preseason so far. 8 points in 4 games. Leads all Charlottetown Islanders right now in scoring. Battle back behind the Mooseheads net for Noah Lowen, who's had a pretty productive preseason as well. Back up top here for Trudeau at the left point. Over to Lowen. Lowen walking the line, trying to open up a lane. He'll fire one wide of the net. And Cole Foston on that for the Mooseheads, able to clear it, and the Moose will get some fresh legs out on the ice. Just 10 seconds left now in this Halifax penalty as Trudeau sends it up ahead now for Gill. Justin Gill dumps it in. Lowen after it down here in the corner. Honored is Lowen. Back up toward the blue line for Trudeau. Dished off, and that was off the stick of Sam Oliver behind the net for LeBlanc. Trudeau letting a shot go. It was stopped by McLaren and chipped away by Jake Furlong as we're back to five-a-side hockey. We'll allow one after it back in The Islanders send, but Patton over here for Tommelson. He'll let his shot go. That's off a leg. Horvath finding it here for the Mooseheads. Horvath back behind the net. Thrown out front there by Vidicek. Was looking for Patton, who was sitting on the doorstep, but couldn't quite get a stick on that one. Boyd will take a big bump at the Mooseheads line, and that's got the Mooseheads fired up down there on the bench.
Absolutely big hit by Tommelson, lining up Boyd at the blue line.
Horvath with it here for Halifax. Great outlet pass for Vidicek. Vidicek pulling up at the line. I got pinned up along the boards momentarily by Hamel. And the Islanders will ice this one, so we get a whistle and stoppage and play with 12:13 to go in this first period.
Mooseheads playing pretty well defensively so far. Another nice penalty kill for them to kick things off here with Liam Payton in the box. And been liking the PK play of Cole Foston this preseason, Gareth. He's done a good job out there.
A look at Cole McLaren, who's pretty steady between the pipes in the preseason for the Mooseheads. Now LaRue, sharp angle, trying to get a shot off there. That was blocked by Beauregard. The Islanders looking to clear this one out. Nifty hands from Desnoyers, but he can't keep it onside as he sends it back for Tessier at the Mooseheads blue line. And over to Zachary LaRue at number 66 as the Moose will try to work that one in, but Islanders on it. Elliott will dump it in deep. Elliott hard after it down there. Puck frozen up along the boards back behind the Mooseheads net as it'll pop free. Robinson ahead for Desnoyers, dropped off for Dumais. Jordan Dumais will get over the red line and sends that one in. LaRue off to the Halifax bench for a change. Allowing hard pass out to center. That was broken up out there by Swan. Cormier will scoop it up. Lucas Cormier slowing things down ahead for Plantowski off the bench. Dropped off for Budgel. Lets a shot go. It's off the stick of Horvath. Now Keegan Hunt makes a solid bump there from Elliott. Horvath up the right wing. Orr trying to work it out, but held in by Trudeau. Dubé with it for the Mooseheads, able to play it up ahead for Orr. He'll let a shot go, fought off by the blocker of Colton Ellis. Elliott ahead for Trudeau on the right wing to Gallant. Good play defensively there by Horvath. This forced Gallant to pull up. Puck shot down toward McLaren. Easy glove stop, and he'll hang on to it here as we approach the midway point of this first period. 10:31 remaining in this opening frame.
Scoreless game still so far, Gareth. I like that second line for the Mooseheads. A little bit of speed, wouldn't you say, with Bobby Orr, Sam Dubé, and James Swan showing some flashes out there as well.
Lots of speed every time Bobby Orr is on the ice, Scotty. Trudeau, he'll let a shot go. Knocked aside by McLaren. Cole Foston with it for the Mooseheads. Myron able to force that one out as Gallant will pick it up to Plantowski. Oscar Plantowski works this one up ahead. Little pile up down there in the Halifax corner as Landon Myron was at the bottom of that one. Moose will float it out. LaRue after it, poked away by Colton Ellis. Foston in to help out, and Foston will take a hard hit down there in the corner from Hamel. Cam Wynot over to Horvath. Ahead to Myron, able to get a stick on that to chip it in. Knocked down by Ellis. Ellis will leave it back there for Felix Tremblay, now on his fourth Q-League team, 2017 draft pick. The Quebec Rempart rolled down toward McLaren, and he'll cover it up, hanging on to it. 9:29 to play here in this scoreless opening period.
Gareth, you mentioned number 66 for Zachary LaRue. The first time we get to see that, it's the first time fans may notice that the Mooseheads are wearing their regular season numbers today, and the first time in the red jerseys, and see some new pants out there as well. You see the circular Halifax Mooseheads logo on the green pants, so sporting a new look for the first time today.
Threads looking good. Marcus Vidicek has got his new number as well. He's going to wear number 6 this season as he took that face off. Moose coming away with it, Payton able to poke it out to neutral ice. McGill right on it there at the blue line. Right back in, snapped the shot, and that was blocked by Horvath. LeBlanc down the boards. Horvath. Hit by Gill. Peyton's pass off a skate. Gillis shot point blank. Stopped by McLaren. Great opportunity right there. And we've got a penalty coming up. A tripping call. So another power play. This one looks like it's going to go to the Mooseheads. Just Justin Gill, the sophomore forward for the Islanders, makes his way off. So,
yeah, almost a costly turnover for the Mooseheads there. And then Gill just has a stick in the wrong place at the wrong time and gets the tripping call and advantage to the Mooseheads here.
And the big guns out. Elliot Desnoyers up front with Jordan Dumais and Zachary Leroux. Cam Wynot on the back end with Samuel Dubé. Dumais back up top here for Wynot. He'll work it down the boards. Desnoyers bumping it right back. Wynot to Dubé, who's setting up here as we get a shot from Wynot. Rips that one wide. Desnoyers with it here. Back to Wynot. Elliot Desnoyers to the goal line for Leroux. Steps out front. He scores. Zachary Leroux on the power play. Didn't take long at all. Just 29 seconds. Last season, picking up right where he left off. Fourth goal of the preseason for Leroux. What an addition to this Mooseheads lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. He just loves the game of hockey. He's a joy to be around because he's just happy to be out there. And you know, he's a fun-loving, easygoing guy, and he's going to be a great addition to this team.
Well, another power play coming up right now, it would appear. We had a high stick right off the face-off right there. It's going to go to Orr. So another opportunity here on the man advantage for the Charlottetown Islanders. I've got a chance to try to even things up after that beauty from Zachary Leroux.
Yeah, they'll try get a little more offense going on this power play. Only had one shot last time around on Cole McLaren.
But Brett Budgel need to take this draw. Budgel, in the absence of Nikita Alexandrov this season, will certainly be looked to carry some of the offensive load. Thomas Casey as well, took a bit of a step last year offensively. That duo, couple of veterans, they'll certainly be looked to provide some goals. And there's a shot right there from Blandowski. He scores. He'll beat McLaren. And speaking of quick conversions on the man advantage, that was just 8 seconds into that power play. Oscar Blandowski, the Halifax native, rips it home. Yeah,
a guy that's going to be a key player for the Islanders this season. Came in, put a lot of muscle on as well, up around 190 pounds in his sophomore season. And obviously his skating is well known. Comes from a skating family. His mother Jill, a power skate instructor as well. So just a very key player and a great pickup for the Islanders late in that first round in the draft a year or so ago.
Oscar Blandowski, actually a Chicoutimi
draft pick
that dealt to, much like Cam Wynot, a couple of Nova Scotia defensemen there that were both dealt from their Quebec teams. And Oscar Blandowski, Cam Wynot, a couple of real highly touted blue liners from that 2019 Q-League draft.
Yeah, one of those players that gets dealt before he puts on the jersey. You forget he even was a member of that organization.
Yeah, absolutely. This will roll down toward Cole McLaren, and he's going to hang on to it. And we've talked about it before, but McLaren certainly be looked to provide a bit of mentorship to Brady James this season. James coming into his first year with the Mooseheads.
That's right. He's a 17-year-old, so he had that extra year of developing at the midget level with Lac St. Louis. Had a really good year with them as well, and led the team in wins. So he's looked towards as the future in the Mooseheads pipes.
McCarthy whistling that one wide. Great opportunity off that bounce off the end boards, and now big pile up back down behind the Mooseheads net. Dubé was in the middle of that. Things really physical. Beauregard in the wrestling match. All tied up there on the ice. I got to look at who's involved down there. Zachary Beauregard
and Swan, I believe.
Swan were all tangled up, that's right. But they're not the only ones. Ben Boyd right in the middle of that. Keegan Hunt, who doesn't seem to shy away from that stuff either. He was wrapped up with Boyd back behind the Mooseheads net, and no love lost here in the early going.
Yeah, everybody with a dance partner there, aside from the goalies, just 12-15 into the game, and the first time they've met this preseason. But you've got to wonder, when you face each time in the Maritimes division 12 times this year, how much of this are we going to see?
Well, Ben Boyd, a local guy here. He's a Dartmouth kid, and we've heard Jim Holton talk a bit about what he expects Boyd to bring to the Islanders lineup. He's a big kid. Coming into his rookie season was a 2019 fifth-rounder. But a big boy, 6'2", had a reputation last year in the Nova Scotia Under-18 Major Hockey League. It's a physical presence on the ice. Had a big playoff for the Cole Harbour Wolfpack, and will certainly be looked to provide a bit of grit and some physical play in that bottom six role for Charlottetown. But that was certainly on display right there.
Yeah, a little bit of sandpaper added to the lineup with Boyd, and see the officials still sorting out penalties and picking up equipment right now. We've got a couple of players in the box each side, and they're going to figure things out. The announcer just actually finally announcing the Mooseheads' first goal, the power play goal. So we'll find out who had the assists on that LaRue marker.
Yeah, it looks like Samuel Dubé and Cam Wynot have been credited with a couple of those helpers. So LaRue from Dubé and Wynot, and then Oscar Plandowski scoring his second of the preseason. Didn't have a goal during the regular season last year. He's already got two here from the back end. Cedric Desrousseaux and Brett Budgel chipping in the assists.
Yeah, I think things might be a little different for Mr. Plandowski this year.
It would appear to be trending in that direction. Elliot Desnoyers up front, centering this top line for Halifax. LaRue in his left wing. Jordan Dumais on the right side. It's Wynot and Furlong on the back end.
Zachary, that mouth is always going, isn't it? Love to see it.
Well, we've talked about it before. LaRue just has so many offensive gifts, but does not shy away from that stuff either. He's got a lot of swagger. We saw it on display last year when he was with the Moncton Wildcats. Said it's a 16-year-old. Seemed to be playing like a 20 most of the time. Didn't mind dropping the gloves. Didn't mind throwing the body. And that's something that he definitely brought to Halifax.
Yeah, for sure. And a guy that maybe you don't like to play against, but you love to have on your side.
Well, I think that's safe to say. Plandowski up the right wing for LeBlanc. Long stretch pass up ahead. Desrousseaux on the backhand. And what a stop by Cole McLaren. How did that stay out? It took a minute. Desrousseaux had his arms in the air. He thought that one was in, but
yeah, kind of the way McLaren went down, it looked like there was no way that he would stop it, almost like he might push it in himself as they go to the backhand, and it must be just under the pad and stayed out. The referee had an excellent view from behind the net, so he would know better than us.
Well, some great athleticism on display there from McLaren, stretching that left pad, getting it across the goal line to keep that one out, but nice little burst of speed from Cedric Desrousseaux. It's almost able to tuck that one home, but what a stop from Cole McLaren. Robinson down here in the corner. Drops that one off to Vidicek. He'll flip it out. Bouncing puck rolls back down into the Charlottetown end. Tremblay after. He's got Petton all over him. Payton coming in to help out, but that will be gloved and held on to by Ellis at the side of the Charlottetown net.
Nice little poke by Petton to get it free and, create somewhat of a chance in front of the net there. But Ellis, the calm veteran, of course, was there to cover it up. But go back to that save by McLaren. What a stop to keep this at a 1-1 game right now. That easily could have been 2-1 for the Islanders.
Terrific save. We've seen a lot of them here over the last couple of seasons from Cole McLaren. Some great athletic gifts. Just a terrific stop right there. Big pile up down here in the Islanders' corner. Petton looking for it. Horvat trying to pinch in to help out. Payton able to keep it alive. And was knocked down by Vidicek. Cormier able to whack it behind the net for Noah Lowen. Lowen, long pass up ahead here for Elliott. Dropped it off for Budgel, but that puck kind of caught up behind him, and that's going to put the Islanders offside with 6:29 to play.
Yeah, it looks like Johnson was a few steps ahead of the play there with the puck kind of flipping in the air. Shots are 6-5 right now for the Mooseheads. Things have slowed down a little bit offensively, but see what we can get going here with LaRue playing double shifting on the line with Foston right now.
7 defensemen in the lineup today for the Mooseheads, just 11 forwards. So we have seen LaRue drop down to that third line a bit as this one comes back to the point for Cormier, a shot. Now Cam Wynot mixing it up at the side of the net with LeBlanc. Those two still going at it. They're going to have a couple of words here.
Yeah, very close to dropping the gloves there, but the cooler heads prevailed. And mentioned 7D dress today. You can expect that the Mooseheads will break 2020 training camp presented by Eastlink with 8 defensemen, including Justin Barron. I know we touched briefly on it in the pregame, and Barron out with that corrective procedure done a week ago, and not sure on a timeline at this point, but there will be a follow-up sometime next week, and hopefully we'll find out a little bit more about when to expect him back on the ice.
Off the face-off, LaRue with it. He'll get over the red line and send that one in, or after it. Coming away with it here is Gallant. He'll play it off the glass, heads after as he chipped that one past Tessier. Robinson with it. Dropped off there for Tessier. Up the left wing. It's off the skate of LaRue. Plandowski finds it. Dubé trying to bump him off the puck. LaRue knocks it down. Drives wide of the backhand, and he's stopped by Ellis. LaRue looking for a second. And almost had it right there. Colton Ellis shutting the door on him. Thomas Casey driving back the other way. Casey passes that one over the backhand, knocked toward the net by Oliver. And McLaren with the stop this time as things start to open up a bit. Robinson will take this for a skate. Lucas Robinson, just 1 goal last season. It came against the Islanders in the last Mooseheads game of the Q League calendar before COVID-19 shut things down prematurely.
Not a bad way to finish off your rookie campaign, though.
We talked a bit here over the last couple of games about Lucas Robinson, who was such a good story for the Mooseheads during training camp last year.
Yeah, absolutely. One of those guys that came in as he went undrafted his first year, and the Mooseheads got him late and really liked what they saw from him. Kind of a big body, and get a look at Zachary LaRue's latest chance there after he opened the scoring earlier in this period, and another great chance on the backhand.
LaRue with 4 goals here in 4 preseason games for Halifax as Desnoyers comes in to take that face off. Liam Payton taking a shift up here in this top line in place of Zachary LaRue. Now Payton making his way past Maynard. Behind the net with it, Payton. Over here for Elliot Desnoyers, the 2018 Moncton Wildcats first rounder. Horvat trying to poke that one down the boards. Liam Payton on it here for the Mooseheads, but good work there to knock it off of his stick by Maynard. And Islanders coming away with it. Brett Budgel down the right wing. Look to center there for Johnston, but poked off of his stick. We'll allow it over to Cormier. Short pass to Budgel. Budgel will chip it out. Knocked down by Horvat. Budgel with it once again to Lowen. Great pass up the middle for DeRousseau, turning on the Jets, but poked away from him by Furlong. And got a hooking penalty coming up here to the Mooseheads. Jake Furlong looking to the officials there. Doesn't like that call. It'll head off.
Kind of forced into that one, Garrett. They were caught sleeping a little bit on that line change with that pass up the middle, and great scoring chance again for the Islanders.
DeRousseau drawing that one with that great speed. We've seen it on display here a couple of times. He can really motor out there, and he's had a couple of good chances, and like you said, Furlong forced to take that one. So another power play opportunity here for Charlottetown with 3:47 to go.
Yeah, their offense has been pretty potent in the last couple of games, Garrett. You mentioned those 2 high-scoring games against Bathurst. Islanders scored 19 goals in 2 games coming into this one with a 9-6 win over the T10 and a 10-4 victory following that one up.
Noah Lowen racking up some points here as well. Mentioned that he was second coming into this one. He's got 7 points on the back end in just 2 games. Swan will clear this one away. Swan hard after it down there. Quickly back the other way. DeRousseau ahead now for Budgel. Down the left wing, work toward the net. Chance on the side of the goal, and McLaren able to poke that one away after a pad stop. Back to Cormier. Cormier tries to shake Orr, and he will to DeRousseau, and he'll hammer that one up and over the net. Back to Plantowski. Plantowski trying to fight off Orr down toward the corner. Centering feed there from Casey. That was broken up. Plantowski back down the boards. That was broken up by Robinson, and he'll relieve a little pressure here. Cormier floats one down toward the corner. Horvath trying to hammer it out and hit Casey, who was able to keep it alive. Casey toward the line. Over now for Lowen. Back to Cormier. For LeBlanc, looking backdoor for Oliver, but he couldn't quite get a stick on that. No allowing. Back here for LeBlanc. Back to Lowen. Lowen looking to open up the lane to LeBlanc. Good stick by Payton. Just kind of right in that passing lane as Oliver was looking for it. 35 seconds left in the Charlottetown power play. Payton able to launch this one down ice. And the Mooseheads again getting some fresh legs out here with 25 seconds left on the Charlottetown power play, all locked up at 1. 2:05 to play here in period number 1. As Gill will throw his weight around. Heavy bump on Tessier. Trudeau takes a chop at it, sends it wide. Lowen keeping it in here at the right point. Toward the middle, center point, dished off to Gill, a shot, and that was blocked. Tessier. As that puck frozen up along the boards. Is that penalty now over? Back to 5-a-side hockey. Vidicek after Trudeau, but he'll spin, sends it down the wall for LeBlanc. And another whistle here. Some chippy stuff. Gill angled up down behind the Mooseheads net.
It's like Lucas Robinson in there with him on that.
A little wrestling match. The linesmen are in to break it up.
On that power play, you saw them go looking back door a couple of times to Sam Oliver, the rookie for the Islanders, the only player from this past draft on the team right now. He was a second-round pick, their top pick of the draft, actually. Is 27th overall, a 25-goal scorer with Rothsay Netherwood last year.
Well, the Mooseheads with a few second-round picks in their lineup from that 2020 Q-League draft.
Yeah, absolutely loaded with picks this year with Furlong early in that second round, and I believe it was a trade with Charlottetown, and they moved up to get that pick to take Furlong, and of course James Swan as well, 28th overall.
A couple of first-rounders for Halifax to go along with that. Jordan Dumais at 18 overall, and Marcus Vidicek, 14th overall, a teammate of Swan's with the Lac St. Louis Lions. These players finished the regular season tied for third on their team in scoring in the Quebec U18 League. Furlong off the face-off, pulls up, sends it back behind the net for Wynot. Wynot ahead for Leroux. It's off of his stick. That one chipped down into the Islanders' end. Desnoyers heads after a big collision down there with Maynard.
That was athletic.
Shows a bit of athleticism on his get up. We'll have to get a look at that. Again, Maynard will set it down toward the corner. Leroux ahead now for Dubé. Samuel Dubé had it poked away from him by Beauregard. Islanders trying to take their time with it here, but Dubé, some good pressure down there. Lowen will take it for a skate. Good stick by Leroux. Broke it up, and he'll head off to the Mooseheads bench for a change. Why not? Tries to shake DeRousseau, but the pressure there on the forecheck from Cedric DeRousseau didn't give Cam Wynot a lot of options. As Trudeau has it for the Islanders. Up top for Lowen. Over to Casey. Casey, short little pass. Lowen on it here for Charlottetown with time ticking down. Sharp angle shot, and that is On a play here with just 8.8 seconds left. And bit of open ice out here as a couple of coincidentals handed out.
I think we're going to get a look here at that spectacular recovery by Maynard in the corner as he gets back up. It was almost like doing the worm. Maynard, they say, is a nice surprise at camp, an 18-year-old free agent coming in from Cochrane, Ontario, played Northern Ontario hockey at Kapuskasing, and 27 goals as a defenseman last year. But I think sometimes those numbers can get a little inflated in Northern Ontario, but nonetheless, they like his raw talent.
Good worm reference. That's your move, right?
That's right. You've seen me on the dance floor.
That will do it here as we get a few words exchanged back behind the play. I'm not sure what happened there. DeRousseau had a couple of a few Mooseheads trying to chase him down right there. Horvath, Tomlinson, and Orr all after him. As time ticks away here in period number 1, all locked up at 1 through 20 minutes of play.
Yeah, and couple of power play goals in this game so far. Zachary Leroux with the opening goal, 11:28 into the first period from Dubé and Wynot, followed up by another power play goal by the Islanders. Oscar Plandowski had his second of the preseason, just 8 seconds into their power play, and that one came only 12 seconds after the Leroux goal.
Well, we will take a quick break here. We'll have more on that first period coming up in just a bit, but right now a few messages from our presenter, Eastlink.
Introducing the new Eastlink TV experience. Now with TiVo, get voice command,
watch Jesse,
personalized recos, and all the content you love in one place. Spend less time searching and more time watching. That's the Eastlink Edge.
game all the way home. Download the latest apps and share and share and share your photos. Get a mobile plan that puts data first, starting at only $40 a month. That's the Eastlink Edge. Game
Yeah, welcome back. You're watching the 2020 Halifax Mooseheads training camp presented by Eastlink. Gareth McDonald back with you here live from the RBC Center in Dartmouth, joined by Scott McIntosh of the Halifax Mooseheads. We're all tied up at 1 after 20 minutes of play. A couple of power play goals in that first period, Scott. Zach Leroux opening the scoring in this hockey game with his 4th of the preseason. Didn't take long at all in the power play, about 30 seconds in. Zach Leroux with a real nifty goal in tight on Colton Ellis.
Yeah, nice goal from Leroux, Gareth, as he got in on the right down on the red line and kind of lifted it up under the bar. One of those really tough angle goals, and this guy goes all out each game so far here in the preseason, and really hope that translates, and I'm sure it will very early in the regular season, which kicks off next week.
Samuel Dubé and Cam Wynot picking up the assist on that goal, and it didn't take long either for Charlottetown to answer back. They got a power play just a few seconds later, and just 8 seconds into the power play, Oscar Plandowski, Halifax native, tying the game up for Charlottetown. The sophomore blue liner chipping in some offense and getting his second goal here in the preseason. We talked about it a bit during that opening period. No goals during the regular season last year for Oscar Plandowski, but already 2 here in the preseason.
Exactly. Had 12 assists last year on that Charlottetown blue line, but a guy that's you really got to take a big step this year with Charlottetown as one of their top-end blue liners. And as I mentioned in that period, put on some muscle and up to around 190 pounds now. He's already known for his fleet of footwork and getting on the board early here, just a few seconds into that power play. Nice shot from the point, and you can expect to see a lot of that from Oscar this year.
Well, as we said, all tied up at 1 here. Final preseason game for the Mooseheads. And the real thing, it's not too far off. You mentioned it off the top of the broadcast. No fans in the building here, obviously, for this game here today. But that will not be the story on Friday when the Mooseheads head to Sydney to open the season against the Cape Breton Eagles.
That's right. Kicking off the season with back-to-back games against the Eagles starting Friday night at Center 200, where we'll see some fans. There's not many teams in North America right now, aside from the NFL, playing in front of fans. So it's quite something for the QMJHL to be, hosting games with fans and exciting. And I know as few as they will be at Scotiabank Center on Saturday night at the home opener, where 2,000 or fewer fans. It's still great to see some of those familiar faces back in the rink, and I know the players in particular are looking forward to having their fans rooting them on.
Not a whole lot of time there for the turnover either between that game on Friday night and the Mooseheads season opener at the Scotiabank Center on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. It's up and back from Cape Breton is a long trip, as you know. So it's going to be the wee hours of the morning, getting in after the game on Friday, and then turning around to play 7 o'clock on Saturday night at Scotiabank Center. And teams will have to get used to that this year, because there's a lot of back-to-backs like that against their Maritime rivals. The only teams they're playing this season are the Maritime teams, and these rivalries are going to get heated and fierce. We already saw that with the back-to-back against Cape Breton in the preseason.
Talked about some of the big news last week for the Mooseheads, or this week, I suppose I should say, being the news concerning Justin Barron. There will likely be some big news next week for the Mooseheads as well. Looks like the roster should be finalized, obviously, before that season opener on Friday against the Eagles. Yeah,
many of the teams have already finalized the rosters. Cam Russell, the general manager here in Halifax, I think was kind of waiting on that Barron procedure to be done and to decide what he was going to do with how many forwards and how many defensemen he would carry with this team. And it looks like they'll break camp with 8D, we'll be interested to see who they bring and announce for the final roster, which kicks off on Friday. So
probably something that I know fans here in Halifax are wondering about, and likely in Charlottetown and elsewhere around the Q as well, the status of the non-Canadian players. I know that a few Europeans have arrived to some Q League markets, but here in Halifax, obviously, the Mooseheads still waiting on players like Attilio Biasca, Santa Peter's still over in Europe, and as well.
Absolutely. 3 absolutely key players to this team. That's a whole line right there, and a line full of offense, if you will. And, waiting on provincial health officials to, kind of sign off on this. Mooseheads not the only team in this boat, of course. Many Euros are key players for their teams. So you look at Acadie Bathurst, who drafted a goaltender, Jan Bednar. And without him, that's a big piece to their team.
100%, absolutely. And we talked about some of those Charlottetown games with the Tita. They right now they're missing that star goalie.
Yeah, exactly. And Moncton's also in that boat. They drafted a European goalie, so and Bathurst, kind of having their goaltending a little bit exposed during the preseason without the player they expected to have between the pipes, but something that all teams have to deal with right now. And I spoke with General Manager Cam Russell this week about the situation. It's still, nothing resolved to this point, but fingers are still crossed that we'll be able to see those players here.
And it looks like we got gameplay about to start up, so I suppose we should get to that.
That's right. We'll kick it to Eastlink and get ready for our game here.
Introducing the new Eastlink TV experience. Now with TiVo, get voice command,
Watch Jesse.
personalized recos, and all the content you love in one place. Spend less time searching and more time watching. That's the Eastlink Edge.
And our second period underway here. Still some 4-on-4 action. Couple of few seconds rather left on those coincidental penalties as LeBlanc makes his way in. He'll snap a shot that was kicked out by the Mooseheads McLaren. Back to Cormier. Cormier letting a shot go, and that's gobbled up by McLaren, who will hang on to it. 28 seconds in to period number 2. All locked up in one, like we said. Power play goals back in the first from the Mooseheads, Zachary Leroux. Oscar Plandowski answering back for the Islanders just 12 seconds later.
Absolutely, and you see that nice little save. Cole McLaren kicks out the right pad to keep things even here at 1 goal apiece.
Brett Budgel in to take this face off for the Islanders right off the draw. Casey snapping his shot. That was blocked. Budgel, after this loose puck, plays it back toward the left point for Trudeau. He'll make his way down the boards. Took a little bump from Foston, and LaRue with it now for Halifax. He'll play it up ahead for Danoye. Over to Horvath, the shot. That's off the side of the net and right back the other way. The Islanders come. Thomas Casey. He'll float one rink wide for Elliott. Around the boards now for Casey. Skipped over his stick as LaRue comes in to poke that one free up ahead for Dumais. And Dumais stood up out there at center by Trudeau. Elliott over here for Plandowski. Spins, rolls off a his check. Plandowski, great feed up ahead for Budgel. Budgel toward the front. They score. Thomas Casey will bang it home at the side of the net. And the Islanders with their first lead of this hockey game. It's a 2-1 game here in the second period.
That's a tough one for the defenseman Keegan Hunt and Alex Tessier there, as Tessier just kind of fails to tie up Casey at the side of the net, and McLaren stretches out but leaves that little bit of a 5-hole open.
So Thomas Casey, who, as we mentioned, will be looked to provide a lot of offense this season for the Islanders. Chipping it a little right there. Charlottetown on top here, 2-1. Moose will dump this one in. Ellis hanging on to it there as it bounced off the end boards right out to his crease area. Gets the glove on it, hangs on to it. 18:35 to go here in the second. Colton Ellis coming over to the Islanders in that trade with Rimouski, originally a Cape Breton Eagles pick and a Canadian National U18 Championship, Telus Cup victory with the Cape Breton West Islanders a few seasons ago. As we got a big collision down there. Hunt banged up after that. The Mooseheads will take some exception. Taking exception right there.
Yeah,
Keegan Hunt struggling.
In some serious discomfort right now on the ice. As you can see, athletic therapist Robin Hunter run to his aid here, and the Mooseheads are not fans of that hit in the corner.
No, it was right around the whistle. Looked like that May have been a late one. And again, Hunt, like you said, really struggling here as we'll get another look at it.
He had just kind of slowed up before he hit the boards. And Ben Boyd, as we mentioned, has got some sandpaper to his game. He's the one who hits them into the boards, and head coach J.J. Daigneault is not happy on the bench right now.
Yeah, Hunt still in some distress down there. He's going to need a little bit of help here as Zachary LaRue and Brendan Tomlinson out to try to assist him and getting him off the ice.
Never like to see that, especially before the season even gets going, for a player like Keegan Hunt, a young guy who came in here last year and, you know, kind of fighting for a spot on this roster as one of those, you know, defensemen at the bottom six. And you just hope that it's nothing too serious for him and he's able to bounce back fairly quickly.
Yeah, Keegan Hunt last season wrapping up the year with the Mooseheads, played in 3 different leagues, was over in the New Brunswick PEI U18 League for a bit, spent some time in the Maritime Junior A Hockey League, and as we said, wrapping up the season with the Mooseheads. Yeah, just an ugly hit there. A late one for Ben Boyd, and as you mentioned, the Mooseheads bench not very happy with that hit.
No, not at all. And these teams have kind of been at each other throughout the game so far, and Boyd and Hunt have been a big part of that physicality, and just ended up going a little over the line, I guess, with that one.
The officials down here are still trying to straighten things away. Brett Budgel and Elliot Desnoyers into engage in this discourse as we wait to see how this will all shake out. Still no penalties on the board right now. A couple of Mooseheads in the penalty box, a couple of Islanders down there. As we said, a couple of power play goals back in the first period. It was Zachary LaRue opening the scoring in this one with his 4th of the preseason from Samuel Dubé, and Cam Wynot at 11:28. Oscar Plandowski answering back 12 seconds later from Cedric DeRousseau and Brett Budgel at 11:40. And Thomas Casey giving his team the lead with just a minute 18 rather, into this second period. So the Moose will pick up a power play here. Looks like it's just 2 minutes on the board right now.
And look who had another assist or another point on that Casey goal. It was Oscar Plandowski. We've talked a lot about this broadcast.
And those penalties still being straightened away right now. Got a 4-minute penalty up there and 2, but we see 4 Islanders on the ice. They'll reset this.
Just a little delay as they get things straightened out in the scorekeeper's box there, and 2 Islanders in the box and 2 Mooseheads in the box at the moment. But like you said, it will be the Mooseheads ending up with the power play. The question is, for how long?
Elliot Desnoyers out here with Dumais and LaRue on his wings. Vidicek will man the blue line with Cam Wynot. Elliot Desnoyers, we mentioned the 6 points that he had coming into this one. Leading the way offensively through the preseason for the Mooseheads. Was a guy that was relied upon to play some solid two-way hockey with Moncton last year, but will certainly get a chance this year to show off some of those offensive tools.
Absolutely. Going to be counted on and relied upon heavily up in that top 6 with the Mooseheads, and has been centering that line with LaRue and Dumais most of the preseason here.
And Cam Wynot will take this one for a skate out through center. A pass up the right wing for Dumais. Dumais, rink wide, stepping in. A shot from LaRue, and that's stopped by Ellis, who will hang on to it here with exactly 2 minutes gone in his second period.
Yeah, Gareth, we're still waiting for something on the scoreboard in terms of power play time. We know that the Moose are on a power play, but the time hasn't been put on the clock right now.
Islanders just sending in another player to serve that penalty as McCarthy makes his way in right now. A little delay there. So 3 Islanders currently in the penalty box. Dumais back behind the goal for Leroux. Up top for Vidicek. Vidicek for Why Not. Why Not, rink-wide feed. And Dumais will try to roll off a DeRousseau. Down low for Leroux. Leroux over here for Vidicek off of his stick. Why Not back to Vidicek. Marcus Vidicek bumps it back to Why Not. Lets a shot go. Fought off with the blocker there by Ellis. Thrown toward the net. Loose puck. So it was off of Leroux's stick. And Ellis looking for it. Had it poked away by Leroux. He tried to get it to Desnoyers, but unable to do so right there. Dumais off the end boards for Leroux. Zachary Leroux looking out front for Desnoyers. Broken up and cleared away by Trudeau. McLaren back to stop that one. So this power play will continue. Still not entirely sure how much time's left. About 50 seconds, I would guesstimate. As this one's poked in by Payton. Rimmed around the boards. Ellis tried to come out to play that one. Got past him. Out here in the corner, Vidicek getting roughed up. Back to Furlong. Over to Orr. A shot. Orr back with it. To Furlong once again. Vidicek, top of the right circle. Snaps a shot. Good block right there. And then knocked away with the glove. As this one comes back to the line for Orr toward the net. Tipped just wide by Pettin. Vidicek throws it in front. That just missed the stick of Liam Payton. Jake Furlong back in his own blue line. He'll curl and make his way back up ice. Pulls up just inside the line. Throws it down toward the corner for Foston. Now Orr behind the Islanders net. The power play continuing here for the Mooseheads. That may have been a 4-minute double minor perhaps as it's cleared away. Again, still nothing on the scoreboard. Winding up back here is Furlong, but got angled off there by Gallant. Dumais out at neutral ice. Short pass over here for Desnoyers. He'll try to punch that one in, but took a hit there at the line, and that's going to result in an offside with 15:19 to go here in period number 2. The Islanders leading 2-1 thanks to a second period goal from Thomas Casey.
Absolutely saw that one a little bit earlier. Gareth, you got to wonder what this injury or potential injury to Keegan Hunt, how long it will be and how that affects general manager Cam Russell's decisions. He had 9 defensemen, including Barron, and now he's got 7 healthy D right now.
Exactly. Alex Carr not in the lineup here today for the Mooseheads. Certainly some decisions will need to be made if Hunt is unable to go. This one worked around the boards for Dubé. His power play continues for the Mooseheads. Dubé. And Elliott all over him there. Good work by Elliott to knock it loose, but Dubé getting back to keep it in. Now Dubé throws it out front for Leroux to stop by Colton Ellis, who shuts the door in tight.
I believe the net came off and it might still be off a little bit there.
Yeah, it does look to be slightly ajar back behind Ellis. 14.5 left here in the second period. Leroux out through neutral ice. Tries to chip that one past Budgel, and he got tripped up. Landowski and Leroux colliding on the way down. Out through center, Plantowski. He'll take it back into his own end. Over here for his partner, Trudeau. Trudeau will dump that one in. Cam Wynot carries it up ice. Over here for Kyle Pettin. Now Pettin stepping off the boards for Payton there at the side of the net. Try to corral that one. Liam Payton He'll take a bump, able to play it back here for Orr. Drops it off to Furlong, to Orr. Bobby Orr. A pass hit the pad of Budgel. Chance for Vidicek in front, and what a stop by Ellis. Furlong, he'll launch one. That's up and over the net. Orr keeps it in finally. The power play for the Mooseheads is over. McCarthy out of the penalty box for Charlottetown. Now McCarthy up the middle for Casey. Coming in one-on-one here on Furlong. Pulled up, waiting for some help. That was broken up by the Mooseheads rookie blue liner as Furlong will come away with it. Off the glass, but not out. Maynard, high slot, trying to get a shot off there. That'll trickle down toward McLaren, who will grab a hold of it with 12:52 remaining in the second.
That was a long power play for the Mooseheads. It really didn't get a whole lot going, having a tough time getting organized, but here you can see one of the chances as Ellis comes out and makes a pretty good stop there.
And Marcus Vidicek with terrific opportunity there. Moosehead's best of the period, best of the power play. Unable to beat the Charlottetown Islanders goaltender. Dubé winning that face-off for the Mooseheads. Held in by Hamel. Now Horvath knocked it over for Dubé, ahead for Foston. He'll bank it off the boards, down into the Islanders' end. Maynard behind the net for his partner Hamel. Horvath will keep it in. Down the boards for Swan to Dubé. Lets a shot go off a skate. Tomlinson finds it. He'll throw it toward the net. That was blocked as well as Kieran Gallant will look rink wide. Tomlinson. Back here for Horvath to Tomlinson once again. Up ahead for Foston. Foston. Rink wide for Swan. He jams on the brakes. Horvath in to help out there. Desnoyers. Over to LaRue. Back to Desnoyers. That's whistled wide. Tessier took a hit from Beauregard. Why not on it? Great pass up here for Desnoyers. Lets a shot go. Stopped by Ellis. Beauregard back the other way now for Charlottetown. Tessier stepping up on him there at the blue line. And now some rough stuff is Lowen grabbing at the helmet of Zachary LaRue after LaRue came in and got a little chippy.
Yeah, gave him a little shot there, and there might be something that Zachary might need to lay off just a little bit here and there, and at times can get a little too involved, but that's part of his game, and you got to like it.
What a pass on that last shift from Cam Wynot.
Yeah.
Beautiful pass for the Mooseheads end up ahead for Elliot Desnoyers, who got a pretty good shot off. Another great stop from Colton Ellis, who's been pretty solid between the pipes here today for the Islanders.
Yeah, great job by Wynot to find Desnoyers, who was just hanging out by the blue line waiting for that long stretch pass.
So LaRue in the penalty box now for the Mooseheads. Islanders with another power play opportunity. Islanders 1 for 3 on the man advantage here this evening. 11:25 to go in the second. Thomas Casey with the go-ahead goal here early, just a minute 18 into this second period. Brett Budgel will take this draw. 24 goals, 25 assists last year for Budgel. Only Nikita Alexandrov with more points on this Islanders roster. Casey lets a shot go from the high slot, blocked by Tomlinson. Up top for Cormier. Lucas Cormier with it once again. Cormier looking backdoor there. A shot ripped toward the net, knocked aside by McLaren. Horvath trying to clear that one away. Good hands from DeRousseau. Knocked that one down, kept it in. DeRousseau toward the middle. Hands it off here for Cormier, stepping in. Down low, thrown out front. That's off the stick of Tomlinson. Tomlinson in there trying to fish it out. Gets a little bit of assistance from his partner, Horvath. Got a whistle on the play. Looked like that may have came up and clipped the netting down there in the Mooseheads end.
Yeah, it looks like that, and get a stoppage of play. 10:37 to go here in the second period. 2-1 for the Islanders, and it's kind of looking over that long list of penalties a little earlier in the game. At the 18:28 mark of the first period, we had roughing calls to Robinson and Gill, and they both had unsportsmanlike conducts as well. And then that incident with Keegan Hunt in the second period, just a minute 34 in, it was a boarding call on Ben Boyd, a 5-minute major.
Well, we weren't quite sure. There was nothing went up on the scoreboard. A shot was tossed toward the front of the net, and of course, tough to hear in here with these headphones on.
Yeah, except well, he can't hear myself, Garrett. So
yeah, well. Noise canceling, Scott. Noise canceling. A minute 02 left on LaRue's penalty. Islanders power play continues. 10:29 to go. Face off to McLaren's right. Sam Oliver lining up against fellow rookie Marcus Vidicek. Oliver getting tossed out. Patrick LeBlanc, the Islanders preseason scoring leader, out to take this face off, and this time it's Vidicek's turn to get tossed. So Pettin and LeBlanc lining up here. LeBlanc winning that face off. Little pile up down there in the corner. Mooseheads able to work it loose, and that'll be cleared out by Furlong. It was played with an Islanders high stick as Trudeau touches it. So a stoppage and whistle.
I think this is as good a time as any, Gareth. I have to give a special shout out today to our buddy Brent DeBourne watching from Moncton. He's going to be one of the biggest Quebec Major Junior Hockey League fans. Obviously very loyal to his Wildcats, but shows a lot of love for the rest of the teams today, and I know he's watching, and so a special hello to Brent today.
Yeah, always great to have Brent tweeting along during the games. As you said, passionate fan. I don't think they come a lot more passionate here in the queue than Brent and Moncton. So, again, a big hello to our buddy Brent DeBourne as Cormier will carry this one out. Bumps it back to DeRousseau. Ahead now for Casey. And Casey hitting Plandowski with the pass there at the line, but an offside called on the Islanders.
Things have kind of slowed down a little bit here. Still 27 seconds remaining in that penalty to Zach Leroux, and 9:54 to go in the second period. 2-1 for the Islanders. I guess that's the way the Mooseheads would like it. Slow this power play down and not give them any sort of momentum.
Or out to take that face off. Islanders winning it, though. Plandowski try to punch this one in. Over to Budgel at the line. Thrown toward the net. And Horvat will try to work it around the boards, but the wall sealed back there by Casey. And Budgel battling, sends it up the wall for DeRousseau. Right back to DeRousseau to Cormier. Over here for Plandowski. Heavy drive. That was blocked. Chance on the side of the net. Snapped wide. And Plandowski toward the corner for Casey. Around the boards for DeRousseau. He'll take a solid bump from Leroux to the penalty box. Islanders attacking. Side of the net. Casey letting one go. Denied by McLaren. Plandowski whacks it in. Scooped up by Orr. Winding up out of his own zone. Orr with speed down the left wing. He'll throw it toward the goal, and that'll deflect out of play. So another stoppage here with 8:57 to go in the second period.
Nice little burst of speed from Orr on that last play, and you'll see a chance. DeRousseau really had a good chance at the side of the net. I guess it wasn't the look that I was thinking of, but he had one come out to the side. All he had time to do was put the stick on it, and it went high.
Well, pretty good chance there on that replay. Thomas Casey looking for his second of this period. Desnoyers will win that one back to the point. Why not? Trying to spin off of his check down toward the corner. Gallant over for Felix Tremblay. A pass from McCarthy, knocked down by Desnoyers, who tries to work it right back in. Gallant, a 13th round pick of the Islanders back in 2018, 226th overall. Good little story here for Charlottetown. All over that one is Drew Elliott. Clears it out. Desnoyers forcing it right back in. He got tripped up. No call there as she'll head off to the Mooseheads bench on the change. Lowen Snapping a shot on McLaren, who will hold on to it here. Covers it up. 8:14 to go in the second period.
You said Gallant, a good story for them. It's always nice to see a local player play for his, his home team, so to speak, and especially on Prince Edward Island, smaller population. Gallant, great to see him make that squad, and he plays a key role for them.
3 assists here in 4 preseason games heading into this one. For Gallant out at center. Tessier. He'll take it for a skate down here toward the corner. It gets roughed up back there by Hamel. Extra cross check back there. The Mooseheads trying to get something going. Foston was looking for Robinson at the line. That eluded Robinson. He'll have to make his way back down into his own end. A shot for Maynard. Knocked away with a pad off McLaren. Back up top here for Maynard. He's got it once again over there for Hamela's shot, and that's stopped by Cole McLaren, who will hang on to it.
Yeah, McLaren's been good, and Ellis has been good. We're going to see a lot of them throughout the regular season. These two teams are going to be very tight, I think, in terms of the battle this year, Gareth. I know St. John, everyone is predicting them to be the upper echelon of the Maritimes division, where a veteran squad like Charlottetown and more of an up-and-coming squad in the Mooseheads could be those teams vying for, second and third place.
Oh, absolutely. Great goaltending for both teams. Certainly Colton Ellis. He's been great story here in the Q. St. Louis Blues prospect. He's going to be working kind of in perhaps a similar role to McLaren in a way. He'll be looking to mentor Jacob Gooby, you would think, who the Islanders, they've got their sights on Gooby as being their future netminder.
Absolutely. 80 career wins for Ellis, and that's a guy who's kind of dealt with some injury issues as well. That's a lot of wins.
Great career in Rimouski. Liam Payton getting tripped up at the Mooseheads line as the Herd will send that one in. Beauregard, quick pass up the right wing. Shot there from Vidicek will be stopped by Ellis, who will hang on to it.
Vidicek just jumping on a turnover there and getting a shot away quickly, but didn't really get a lot on it. But like his play, especially you saw a defensive play earlier from him. That's kind of the key components of what he brings to the ice for the Mooseheads. He can play center on the third line, and he can, contribute a lot on the defensive end.
15 goals in 39 games with Lac St. Louis last season for Marcus Vidicek, the Mooseheads' 14th overall pick. Tomlinson going to roll off of his check. Jordan Dumais over the red line. He'll launch that one in. Dangles up with Cormier down behind the Islanders' goal. Worked around here for Budgel. Budgel will float one in. And another whistle, and like you said, the pace here in the second period has slowed down considerably. Lots of face-offs over the last few minutes.
Yeah, it slowed to a crawl, I guess you could say, but shots right now 18-13 in favor of the Charlottetown Islanders. The Mooseheads with only 5 on the board this period, and 6:35 to go in the second period of a 2-1 game for Charlottetown.
Could use one right now from Zachary Leroux, who's out there with his top line, Desnoyers and Dumais. Leroux with the Mooseheads goal in this contest. Power play marker back in the first period as we get a whistle.
It's something we've seen in the preseason leading up to this game, is goaltenders splitting the game, but it doesn't look to be the case at this point with McLaren and Ellis still between the pipes for both squads right now.
The Vets will remain in goal. Let's see. Islanders win this face-off. Cormier works it down the boards. He'll get it right back from LeBlanc. LeBlanc growing up playing his hockey, minor hockey, with Lucas Cormier on the back end as Cormier tried to work that one toward the front of the Mooseheads net. Now Gill trying to fight off the check. He'll play it back up top. No allowance, snapping his shot. Whistled that one wide. Loose puck. Cormier collecting it here for the Islanders. Down over the corner. Cormier losing an edge down there, but able to play it around for Gill. And Dubé forcing the turnover there. He'll work it toward the middle for Swan. Swan bumped off the puck, and LeBlanc up ahead now for DeRousseau, a shot. And McLaren looked like he just got a piece of that one and able to angle it up and out of play. But another great opportunity for Cedric DeRousseau. He's had a few of them in this hockey game.
Yeah, he's been all over the ice, especially this period as Charlottetown's kind of upped the pressure on the Mooseheads side of things down here, and it's been a lot of action in front of McLaren the past few minutes.
Cedric DeRousseau, one of the overagers here for the Charlottetown Islanders this season. Came over in a trade last preseason from the Drummondville Voltigeur. Hamel over for Tremblay. Tremblay looking up ahead there for Johnston. That got over his stick, but Elliott winning the race to that puck. And the Mooseheads were expecting an icing call right there. No whistle. Foston knocked off the puck. Johnston, a shot, and he'll ring that one off the bar. What a release. Had McLaren beat. Couldn't beat the pipe behind the net. The Moose will look to clear this one out. Why not slowing things down? Sends it high and off the glass and out. Hamel over for DeRousseau. Launched in. That skipped over the stick of McLaren. Gobbled up by Wynot. Ahead now for Myron. Able to sweep it down into Islanders territory. Trudeau on it for Charlottetown. Up ahead. Liam Payton hustling back. A bump there and his former teammate, Beauregard. Oh, a chance in tight. Big hit. Landon Myron laying the body. And that's going to be a penalty here. Beauregard going right after Myron. Landon Myron. And Beauregard with a couple of words out there. DeRousseau is going to head off. The little chop. The lower leg of Landon Myron after that big collision in front of the Mooseheads net. Yeah,
Landon has been involved in a few of those this game so far, and that's the role he's going to play. He's going to be a physical guy and play in that bottom six. We'll get a look at that shot. The Mooseheads getting lucky as it rings off the pipe. We did see it a little earlier. The McLaren, got bailed out by the post. It almost looked like it was going up and under the crossbar, but Steven Starzomski, the official, was right there on top of it and waved it off.
So right after that big hit on DeRousseau that he took exception to, little chop to the lower leg of Landon Myron. DeRousseau obviously not happy with it, but the penalty is going to go his way. The Moose will pick up a power play as they look to even things up with 4:19 to go in the second period. Islanders leading 2-1. They've got goals today from Oscar Plandowski and Thomas Casey. Zachary LaRue with the lone Mooseheads marker.
Looks like 4 minutes on the board right now for the power play for the Mooseheads.
A double minor there to Cedric DeRousseau as Gallant drives this way toward the front of the net, and a great effort shorthanded by Kieran Gallant, and we'll have a bit of 4-on-4 hockey right now after great shorthanded opportunity.
Take a look here as the Gallant chases down that puck and just weaves through the defenseman and draws that penalty. Great effort by him, and we spoke about him a little earlier. That's the style of game that he plays, and helps out his team by knocking a couple of minutes off that power play for the Moose.
So Samuel Dubé is going to pick that one up. Dubé making his way off, so as we said, some 4-on-4 hockey right now, but 4-minute double minor on the board for Cedric DeRousseau. Horvath, he'll drive up the middle. Played toward the line for Furlong. Furlong tries to fight off the check. Back toward the line for Desnoyers. Lets one go through traffic. LaRue on it. And another stop there by Ellis. Just LaRue works it out front. Desnoyers tripped up. And Thomas Casey accelerating back the other way. He'll slow things down, circles, and turns it over to Leroux. Zachary Leroux driving back the other way. Took a hit there from Noah Lowen. Good play defensively, and Lowen and Leroux all tied up as the Islanders will make their way back. Nifty move from Casey, a shot, they score. Lucas Cormier following up on that one. Juicy rebound, and they'll knock it home here as the Islanders take a 2-goal lead in the second period.
Yeah, things really opening up here 4-on-4 right now. You saw Zachary Leroux got a dipsy doodle in there, and before that he, kind of blocked a shot and caught it with his glove and tried to do a wraparound, and then you see the Islanders coming right back and with some offense of their own to make it a 3-1 game, 3:13 to go in the period.
Oscar Plandowski up the middle of the ice, over for Oliver, who tried to sweep that one in. Bobby Orr finding it here for the Mooseheads, ahead for Pettin. That was broken up by LeBlanc. Tessier trying to poke it away, but Oliver on it. Trying to dance his way down the right wing. Stood up there by Robinson. Over for Trudeau. Back to Plandowski. Oscar Plandowski takes a look. He's got room a shot, and that is swallowed up there by Cole McLaren. Mooseheads netminder hanging on to it with 2:39 left in the second period. 29 seconds left on Dubé's penalty. Still 2:20 left on that slashing call to Cedric Desrousseaux.
Yeah, so the Mooseheads will have a minute 51 on the power play after this one expires. And Cormier's goal, his first of the preseason, coming at 16:47. And Thomas Casey picking up the assist. That's his second point of the day. Of course, he scored the go-ahead goal earlier this period.
Brett Budgel lining up against Vidicek, and Budgel winning that one back for Maynard. Down low for Budgel. Brett Budgel will take a look here. Pulls up, tries to shake Wynot. Wynot able to strip that one away. Good work down low from Elliott. A thorn in the Moosehead side right now is giving Tomlinson a bit of difficulty. Comes back to the point, kept in by Tremblay. Down here toward the corner for Budgel, and Cam Wynot able to work that one free, and he'll slow things down as the Mooseheads will head back on the power play here as Dubé steps out of the box. Wynot up toward his own blue line, swings it back for Vidicek. Vidicek driving in toward the net and stopped by Ellis. And another penalty coming up to the Islanders after a great move by Marcus Vidicek, who was off to the races right there. Ellis coming out big for Charlottetown.
Great rush by the rookie as he gets through the D and draws that slashing call against the Islanders. What a move.
Take a chop for Maynard, and this is going to result in a Mooseheads man advantage, a two-man advantage. Still a bit of time left on that penalty to Cedric Desrousseaux. Quite a bit of time, a minute 26. And over here for Dubé. Dubé down for Desnoyers. Desnoyers out front. Leroux shot, he scores! Zachary Leroux, point-blank opportunity, and he'll convert another power play marker. And the Moose back within one.
Zachary Leroux with all day to get that shot off Gareth. I think he ate his supper while he waited to get it a stick on the puck, and then he roofs it and almost knocks the bottle off. So he's been all the offense the Mooseheads have had today. Is a couple of goals from Zachary.
It's 5 now in the preseason for Zachary Leroux, coming over from the Moncton Wildcats exactly as advertised.
And then some.
Indeed, and still some time left on this Mooseheads power play, of course. Lots of time left, in fact. There was a minute 26 remaining on Desrousseau's penalty.
Still having some trouble over there at the timekeeper's bench, as they never did get that second penalty up on the board, so they're trying to figure out how much time is actually left on the power play.
Technical difficulties, Scott. It is the preseason. Still not up there, but the power play will continue here for the Mooseheads as McLaren will leave it there for Furlong. Jake Furlong out of the Mooseheads end, dropped off for Dubé. Samuel Dubé drives it in down the right wing. He'll slow things down toward the net. And that was deflected toward the goal by Desnoyers, who was driving. Ellis had to be sharp right there once again. Mooseheads looking to draw even here late in the second.
Absolutely. That was a nice little play by Desnoyers just to tip it on his way to the net, and that was their 17th shot on goal today. Charlottetown sitting at 21 right now with a minute 14 to go in the second period, and a tight battle here.
Islanders with goals here today from Lucas Cormier, Thomas Casey, and Oscar Plendowski. Zachary Leroux has got both Mooseheads markers. He's out there now for Halifax. Now Desnoyers toward the net, and he'll snap that one wide. Got tripped up, and another penalty coming to the Islanders. And I'm not sure they're going to be happy with that one. As Wynot lets a shot go. That was knocked aside. Back up top for Desnoyers. Heavy drive from the line. Wynot puts it on. DeRousseau out to touch that one up. So the Moose right back on the man advantage right now with 43.1 seconds remaining. Desnoyers getting tripped up.
Just a little trip there, but hasn't been a lot of 5-on-5 hockey of late in this game.
Yeah, looked like Islanders may have been trying to plead their case there just a few seconds before. It looked like an Islander may have been tripped up just inside the line. Jim Holton having some words over there with the officials as we get set for his face-off. 43.1 seconds. Cormier in the penalty box. Tripping call going the Islanders' way. Dubé works it down now for Leroux. He'll settle this one down. Work back to Dubé. Over to Wynot. Fakes the shot. Dishes off for Dubé. Back to Dubé. He'll hammer that one wide. And now this loose puck collected there by Gallant. And wisely, he'll send that one the length of the ice with just 18 seconds to go here in this second period. Cam Wynot out of the Mooseheads end. Whiffs on his pass. He's right back on it. Over for Dubé. Dropped off for Jordan Dumais. De Leroux in tight, and what a stop by Ellis as he knocks that one away in the dying seconds of the second period. What a save.
Yeah, the Mooseheads were looking for one last chance there with the 5-on-3, and Ellis comes up big with the blocker on that save.
Now, Ellis has been spectacular here with the blocker this evening and afternoon. Another great stop. What a chance for the Moose to knot this one up in the late going of the second period. So it's a 3-2 hockey game. The Charlottetown Islanders leading the Halifax Mooseheads through 40 minutes. We'll have a little second period recap coming up in just a bit, but right now some words from our presenter, Eastlink.
Introducing the new Eastlink TV experience. Now with TiVo, get voice command,
Watch Jesse.
personalized recos, and all the content you love in one place. Spend less time searching and more time watching. That's the Eastlink Edge.
Game all the way home. Download the latest apps and share and share and share your photos. Get a mobile plan that puts data first, starting at only $40 a month. That's the Eastlink Edge. Download the latest apps and share and share and share your photos. Get a mobile plan that puts data first, starting at only $40 a month. That's the Eastlink Edge.
Yeah, welcome back. You're watching the 2020 Halifax Mooseheads training camp presented by Eastlink. Gareth McDonald back here with Scott McIntosh of the Mooseheads. And looks like we should have a pretty interesting third period here, Scott. Big late goal from who else? Zachary Leroux.
Absolutely. His fifth goal of the preseason, Gareth, has made this a one-goal game. It's 3-2 for the Islanders, and his second of the afternoon, again on the power play, both of them coming on the man advantage. And Zachary now tied for the league lead in the preseason with 5 goals. I believe Ben Allison with the Acadie Bathurst T10 and Justin Robida with Val-d'Or as well, also with 5.
Yeah, another power play goal, like we said, for Zachary Leroux. It was Thomas Casey opening the scoring pretty early on in that period for the Charlottetown Islanders. And again, not wasting any time. Thomas Casey scoring just a minute 18 in to put Charlottetown up 2-1, their first lead of the afternoon. And then Lucas Cormier adding to the lead for the Charlottetown Islanders at 16:47. Like we said, Zachary Leroux getting the Moose back within 1. Power play goal, Elliot Desnoyers, Samuel Dubé chipping in the helpers on that goal. So should be in for a pretty interesting third period here, I would think, Scott. The last period of the preseason for the Mooseheads. And that second frame, no shortage of chippy play. A little bit of bad blood, it looked like, developing between the Mooseheads and the Islanders.
Yeah, you saw a lot of that, Gareth, and unfortunately for Keegan Hunt, he was on the receiving end of one of those plays down in the corner, getting hit by Boyd and then being helped off the ice. It appeared to be his knee. Not sure of the severity of that injury right now, and I just spoke with General Manager Cam Russell really quickly before we came back, and he said, obviously he'll be reassessed following the game, and we'll see how long we can expect to have Keegan Hunt out of the lineup, which also, as we mentioned, will factor into the decisions being made here in the final week of 2020 training camp presented by Eastlink.
And of course, like you said, those decisions, the roster, it's got to be locked in here pretty soon. So some decisions to be made, and certainly an injury here to Keegan Hunt, a player that in the second half anyway last year was a bit of a mainstay. That could be a bit of a curveball here for the Mooseheads.
For sure. It could open up some opportunities as well for rookies like Alexander Tessier and Alex Carr of Middle Sackville, who's fighting hard to find a spot on this team, a 4th-round pick of the Mooseheads, and they both players that they really like, and probably we're going to be forced to make a decision between the two of them. So at this point, if Hunt is out for any length of time, coinciding with Barron being out for a number of weeks, then we'll see what they can do to be a factor on this team.
Yeah, we didn't really get into the Justin Barron situation much during the game or during the first period. We talked about it a bit off the top, and I suppose it's possible that we've got some new viewers who have joined us since. But obviously, that was the big news for the Mooseheads this past week. The Moose making the Justin Barron's procedure official yesterday, and as we said off the top, though, it's the kind of thing that probably has some Mooseheads fans a little concerned when you consider that Barron missed about 3 months last year with a blood clot, and you see that he's out again. I can see why fans might be a little concerned by that, but as you said off the top, nothing at this point. It would seem that Mooseheads have to panic about it at this time.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything to be too startled about because, like we said, it's not a new injury that has occurred. It's more of a corrective procedure that has taken place, I believe, a week ago yesterday, so already a week down in the recovery process, and fingers crossed for a speedy recovery from him. There will be a follow-up with his doctor here sometime in the near future and get more of a precise timeline on the way, and when we could expect to see him back in the lineup. And we know he has a big day coming up on October 6th with the NHL draft, a different one this year being virtual, and Justin being the 16th ranked North American skater, so expected to be, somewhere in the mid to late first round, early second round, depending on, how much these NHL teams like him and what's not to like about Justin Barron.
Well, absolutely. Justin Barron just absolutely stellar here during his Mooseheads career. Was a player that stepped in. You got to remember Justin Barron, when he first couple of months in the league, just 15 years of age, but one of those guys that just carried himself like a vet from the time that he stepped into the Mooseheads lineup.
Absolutely. That late November birthday had him here as a 15-year-old, and but has always had poise with the puck. He's a smart kid on and off the ice, of course, and just a model player, I guess, that you could everything you would hope for in a player on your team, and wish him all the best in his recovery process. Can't wait to see him back on the team, and most likely a guy you would see with the C on his chest this season, I would think.
Oh, absolutely. A very mobile presence on the Mooseheads back end. And speaking of mobile blue liners, Lucas Cormier, pretty mobile himself. Another guy hoping to hear his name called. At a 36-point campaign last year for the Islanders. Had 36 points as well in his rookie season last year, though, doing it in 19 fewer games. Like Barron had his fair share of injuries to deal with as well. Has come into the queue pretty highly touted, like Barron, a first rounder. Lucas Cormier going fourth overall to the Islanders back in 2018, but like Barron, also delivering on some of those lofty expectations.
Absolutely. He's a guy that Jim Holton loves to have on his team. He's been an excellent player in his Quebec Major Junior Hockey League career. I remember him on draft day. It was a name being talked about by a lot of teams. Everybody wanted to add Lucas Cormier to their team if he fell to them in the right spot, and Charlottetown very fortunate to have him on their side.
And Cormier starting off this third period in the penalty box, still 1:17 left on his call. So the Mooseheads will start this final frame on a power play. Leroux over for Dubé, in front for Dubé, and Ellis down, makes the stop. It's cleared away. What an opportunity here in this 5-on-3 man advantage. 5-on-4 power play for the Charlottetown Islanders, or for the Mooseheads rather. I'm all out of shorts here, much like a scoreboard to start this third period. Dubé up ahead. He'll dump that one in. Desnoyers giving chase after it. Takes a good bump down there from Lauan as that puck's worked around the boards. Dubé back behind the goal for Desnoyers. He'll work it over for Dubé along the half wall on the right wing boards. Back to Wynot, a shot, and that was redirected wide. Back to Wynot here. The Islanders couldn't get that one out. Wynot for Leroux. Shot, loose puck. Desnoyers trying to fish it loose, and Ellis sprawling out to make the save. Another opportunity here as Jordan Dumais denied by Ellis, who was able to recover there and shut the door once again.
All kinds of opportunities on this power play for the Mooseheads. You see the latest with the pretty passing between Dumais, Leroux, and Desnoyers. Desnoyers just unable to bang it in at the side of the net. And just a little bit earlier, Samuel Dubé with a golden opportunity in tight, but just had it kind of go off the heel of his stick as he didn't get everything on it.
Vidicek will take this face off for the Mooseheads, lined up there against Budgel, and that'll be cleared away by the Islanders. McLaren out to stop it. Drops off back there for Lucas Robinson. Back to retrieve it. Robinson rink wide for Payton. Try to gallop after that one. He'll throw it on that. Pad save by Ellis. Justin Gill coming away with it. Up ahead now for LeBlanc. LeBlanc will roll one in. Robinson. Let it skip over his stick there as he tried to corral it back below the Mooseheads goal line. Liam Payton had to help out. Furlong around the boards. Payton taking a bump from Blandowski. Now Gill toward the high slot, spins, he'll let a shot go. Deflect it wide. Trudeau trying to work it down behind the net. That was off of a skate, and now Pettin playing it up ahead for Liam Payton, who will dump it down into the end of his former team. First game for Liam Payton against the Charlottetown Islanders. Payton, one of those Ontario free agents that Jim Holton and company have had so much success with over the last few years. Horvath off the boards and in. Anthony Hamel will pick that one up. Leaves it back there. Thomas Casey ahead. Budgel banks it off the boards to himself here if he can hurry, but Tomlinson on it first. Horvath steps out front. Dangerous play, but he's able to sweep it aside for Dubé, who will wisely get that one out of the Mooseheads end. Now Dubé on it. Carries this one in. Lets a shot go. That's way wide of the net. Karam's off the boards out to neutral ice. Tessier trying to sweep one over for Horvath, his partner, ahead now. Alex Tessier. They'll slow things down back behind the net of Cole McLaren. 16:40 to go. Tessier, fifth round pick of the Moose in 2020, takes a big bump there from Noah Lowen, just inside the Islanders' blue line. Drew Johnston after that puck.
Yeah, Tessier just got introduced to Noah Lowen right there with that hit at the blue line. Stood him up and
yeah, that was a heavy impact for sure. As Drew Johnston wondering why that was icing right there. $16:22 to play. Cole Foston will take the face-off. Lining up against Beauregard. Beauregard winning that one. Cleared out to neutral ice. Bouncing puck. Tessier back into his own end. Tessier roughed up there by Johnston as the Moose will clear it out. Landon Myron poked it away from Cormier. Was looking for Foston, who was driving toward the high slot. Johnston took a hit from Landon Myron. Those two will tangle up in front of the Islanders' bench and still wrapped up back behind the play. The official with his arm in the air here. Linesman in to try to separate Landon Myron and Johnston.
Myron been quite involved today with those post-whistle skirmishes, but like we said, he's kind of got to, find his role with this team, and he's got to have some physicality to his game, and he's one of the bigger bodies on the Mooseheads, so, kind of doing his job there.
Well, Myron trying that penalty on Cedric DeRousseau back in the second period. He'll draw one on Johnston. The Moose with another power play. Off the draw, Trudeau. He'll send it high and off the glass. Back down into Mooseheads territory. Wynot on it here for Halifax. Cam Wynot winding up, but of his own end. Ahead now for Desnoyers. Rolled past him. The Islanders will clear it away. McLaren out to stop, but he's got DeRousseau pressing. Sends it around the boards, and that'll be shoveled right back in by Ryan Maynard. 35 seconds down in this Halifax power play. Nothing to show for it thus far. As Wynot again unable to get that one deep, and again Maynard punching it back down into the Moosehead zone. Desnoyers comes in down the left wing, tries to evade Lowen. Lowen getting a piece of him, knocked him over. A solid PK so far for Charlottetown. Moose unable to generate much of anything.
Yeah, unlike the first power play of the period where they had all kinds of opportunities, it's a little more tough sledding here.
Yeah, having a tough time on zone entries now as that'll be cleared away by Cormier. McLaren back to leave it for Furlong with 38 seconds left, and Moose really unable to gain the line at all as Vidicek will try. He'll send this one in deep after it, but this time it's a netminder Ellis out to try to clear it away and almost got himself in a bit of trouble right there.
Yeah, that one right at Brett Budgel, who almost kind of deflected it back into the net.
Cormier will clear it out. Furlong inside his own line, ahead now for Orr. Bobby Orr will take it for a skate. Orr back toward the line for Furlong. And Furlong had Budgel all over him. Budgel strips it away ahead for Casey. Thomas Casey slowing down, trying to Saucer one toward the front of the net for a driving Budgel, but McLaren will glove it. Holds on to it. 13:43 to play in the third, and the Moose, their power play now over, and again, not a whole lot to show for that one.
No, not at all, Gareth. And Charlottetown with a good chance at the end there. Just looked like they kind of ran out of gas at the end of a shift as Budgel tried to create something, but didn't have much left in the tank.
Gill's going to win that one back toward the point for Tremblay. Foston in possession. He'll slide one up ahead for Landon Myron. Held up there by Tremblay. Plandowski. Great feed up there on the left wing for DeRousseau. DeRousseau will try to snap one toward the net. That's fought off by McLaren, who's able to corral it, and he'll hang on to it. So an offensive zone face-off coming up for the Charlottetown Islanders with 13:20 to go in the third. The Islanders leading 3-2.
Just taking a look down at the small gathering of NHL scouts here, Gareth. I see Trent Mann, the director of scouting for the Ottawa Senators here today. We know they have a lot of picks coming up in the NHL draft, and his son is also in the league this year playing for Chicoutimi. Matteo Mann, a big defenseman out of New Brunswick.
Shot there, deflecting wide. McCarthy trying to throw one toward the net. That was off of Sam Oliver. Kieran Gallant poked at by Foston. Now Oliver trying to drive his way toward the front, broken up. And Foston ahead now for Landon Myron. Myron looking for a short pass there to Foston. That didn't connect. Hamel clearing it out for the Islanders. Retrieved by Robinson. Rink wide to Jordan Dumais, and he'll dump that one in. Hamel up there for Oliver. Had it poked off of his stick, and now Dumais. LaRue will kick it up to his forehand. Dropped off for Desnoyers, a shot, and that's gloved by Colton Ellis, who will grab a hold of it. And LaRue, as you said, always with a few words, exchanging a couple with Anthony Hamel.
Yeah, yet again, and a bit of a laser of a shot from Desnoyers there. Just a tough angle to score from, though, and an easy glove save for Ellis on that one. Shots now 25-22 in favor of the Mooseheads. They got a big boost with the 6 shots early on in this period.
Desnoyers in to take that face-off. 7 points now in the preseason for Elliot Desnoyers. He leads the Mooseheads in preseason points. Budgel off the end boards. Furlong will find it. Sends it around the wall. Dumais poking it up ahead. Desnoyers heading after it over there for LaRue. Reaching one hand on the stick, but looks like we got an offside at the Islanders' blue line as we approach the midway point of this final period.
Just offside there as LaRue tried to dance around the line and not step over, but just got caught there as it got tipped across by Desnoyers.
Vidicek lining up against Beauregard, and Zachary Beauregard, the Islanders veteran, winning that one. Cormier will drive that one up ahead. It's blocked by Payton. Now Horvath trying to slide one back up the left wing. That was off a skate. Kieran Gallant will find it. He'll just shovel one toward the net. Knocked aside by McLaren, and penalty coming up, an interference call. Looks like this one is going to go to the Mooseheads. Horvath. Horvath having exchanging a couple of shoves and a few words too with Johnson as he makes his way to the Mooseheads box.
Yeah, that one a little bit away from the play as he just kind of knocked Johnson over down into the corner, and referee was right there on top of it to make the call, and Horvath will head to the box for 2 minutes or less.
Horvath, one of the Mooseheads overagers this season, came over from Shawinigan in a trade last August. Former third-round pick of the Cataract back in 2017. Back to the line, Cormier. Hands that one off to Plandowski. Oscar Plandowski trying to bump it back up top here for Cormier to Plandowski. A good keep there at the line by Cormier, who keeps it alive. DeRousseau down the boards with it. He'll slide it back up top to Cormier. Shot through traffic, and that one goes wide. Casey finding it here. He'll play it back toward the line for Cormier. Letting that shot go, and again, Sent wide of the Mooseheads net. Rousseau back to Cormier. To Budgel. Up top, Cormier winds and fires. It's off a stick, up and into the protective netting. As Casey as it deflected back off the netting, depositing it behind Cole McLaren, and that'll draw some looks for the Mooseheads.
Pretty good puck possession there by the Islanders early in this power play. 58 seconds left in the Horvath minor, and looking to extend the lead to 4-2. And if they do so, the Mooseheads will look back at that early power play as a kind of a missed opportunity when they had those golden chances to tie it up.
LaRue able to force that one out. No allowing. Back in his own end. Ahead for Trudeau. Trudeau kind of got taken down there by LaRue, reaching out with the stick. And LaRue perhaps fortunate to go unpenalized in that play, as Lauman will scoop that one up back there. Popped it over for Trudeau. Now Trudeau had it poked off of his stick by Desnoyers, who lost his lumber in the process. 24 seconds remaining on Horvath's penalty. Trudeau up ahead. A shot ripped toward the net by Oliver, and that's fought off by Cole McLaren.
Young Oliver getting a lot of power play time today, and like we mentioned, a second-round pick, 27th overall by the Islanders in this past draft. Played for Rothsay Netherwood High School last year, had 25 goals, and looking to find his way onto this team and make a difference with the Isles.
Oliver, the player taken right before the Mooseheads' James Swan, who's back in the lineup here after missing the last couple of games. Drew Elliott has it roll off of his stick. Robinson quickly on it. He'll play it ahead now for Swan. Cole Foston taking a hit at the line from Tremblay. Maynard will flip one down at the Mooseheads territory. Tessier going to fight off his check. And Tessier on the right wing. Myron, he'll work it up ahead here for Swan, trying to drive his way past Tremblay. The Islanders clearing it out. Furlong back at his own blue line to Robinson. Gonna look at Swan there. We've heard some comparisons, some pretty good ones, to a couple of a former Islander and Keith Getson. Getson and Xavier Simoneau, kind of a blend. That's something that we've heard a bit about James Swan so far. Some pretty good comparables, and pretty good players to try to model your Q-League game after, I might say.
Absolutely, and our first extended look at Swan here today, and he's a bundle of energy. I'll give him that, and I think he has the heart of Getson and the stature of Simoneau. Maybe, and a little bit of, with all luck for the Mooseheads, he'll have a little bit of goal scoring to go along with that hard work ethic.
Absolutely. 8:29 to go in the third period. Moose still looking for one. Zachary LaRue with both Halifax goals. The Moose trying to tie this one up. Oscar Plandowski, Lucas Cormier chipping in a couple of goals here today from the back end for the Islanders. Thomas Casey with the other Charlottetown goal, as LaRue will take a hit from Plandowski, but absorbs that one, makes the play. Desnoyers, a shot, he scores! What a play, as Elliott Desnoyers will tie it up at 3.
Yeah, there he is again, making a difference for the Mooseheads. This game's all tied. And what a pass and what a find by Desnoyers to look down at his feet, basically, and pick up this pass from the rookie Dumais.
And LaRue taking that hit from Plandowski back just outside the Mooseheads line. That allows Dumais to drive in down that left wing, and terrific feed over for Desnoyers. No mistake right there. A tie hockey game.
Great way to end the preseason, isn't it?
This is fun. This is a lot of fun. Looking forward to the real thing Friday night, but hey, it's been a long time coming. This will do for right now, that's for sure. Moose will dump it in. LaRue heading after it. Down toward the corner here. Desnoyers taking a bump from sophomore Islanders forward Justin Gill. Up ahead for Gallant. He'll dump that one in. Tessier heading after it. Roughed up back there by LeBlanc. Patrick LeBlanc stepping out front. Sharp angle shot. That's off the shoulder of McLaren, and he'll gather up the rebound. Not taking any chances here, and they play going to the third. 7:54 to go. All locked up at 3.
Gareth, we mentioned it's the preseason coming to an end. It's been a lot of fun doing this with you, and have to give a special shout out to our crew here as well. Neil Gordon, the producer, Alec Cook, and Ben Mendelson on camera. It's a small team here that's put this together for the fans so we can enjoy the preseason together, and it's been a lot of fun.
Great group of guys, some great work. So big thanks to Neil, Ben, and Alec as Bobby Orr makes his way down into Islanders territory. Work back toward the line. That will elude Cam Wynot. McLaren out to leave it for Furlong. Furlong drops it off for his partner, Wynot. Now Johnston forces the turnover, tries to throw it out front. And a little scramble there at the side of the net as McLaren was able to find it. But good work on the forecheck from Drew Johnston, who forced the turnover and almost made something happen with it.
Yeah, look at this right here. Mooseheads were lucky to come out here still tied at 3, and they just made the announcement on the Denoyer goal. It is his second of the preseason from Dumais, and guess who? Zachary Leroux, of course, his third point of the afternoon here.
First assist of the preseason for Zachary Leroux. Came into this third period with 5 goals. Lots of assists on the other hand, of course, for Leroux's centerman, Elliot Desnoyers, as Foston will try to poke that one down to the Islanders' end. Thomas Casey on it. He'll lob one all the way back down and to the Mooseheads' end here. It's going to be an icing charge to Charlottetown, and we'll head back down into the Islanders' zone for a face-off with 7:03 to go in the third.
As we said, we're geared up for a big finish here. Tie hockey game. Getting in the late stages, and I don't think these guys are content just to ease their way out of the preseason and into the regular season next week. They want to finish with a win on here on both sides, so should be a good finish.
Cole Foston after it down there in the corner. Took a pretty good bump from Brett Budgel. Foston and Budgel continuing to battle down there. Zachary Leroux out with Cole Foston and Landon Myron on this third line for the Mooseheads. Horvath, he'll take it for his skate now as he winds up out of his own end. Up ahead for Pettin. Kyle Pettin back toward the net for Horvath. Pad stop by Ellis. Not a whole lot on it, but Horvath able to direct it on net. Ellis again had to be sharp this time with the pad as Tessier will make his way around the net, but ran out of room right there. And some Islanders converging on him. Pettin will try to get it out. Able to work that one to center ice. Hamel up the right wing for Gallant. Gallant short pass to LeBlanc. Tries to dangle toward the net. Throws it out front. Tremblay on it. He'll let his shot go. It's off his shin pad as Gallant comes in to retrieve it. Leaves it there for LeBlanc. He'll send one wide. Tremblay keeping it alive. William Payton, his former teammate Hamel on him. This will be cleared out. High and off the glass. Payton racing after it. No ice right there. As Tremblay worked it around for Hamel. Up ahead for Oliver. Had it poked off of his stick by Furlong. Bouncy puck there. And that'll be sent back down to the Charlottetown end as the Moose will get a line change in. Now Wallowan will play that one back behind his net for Anthony Hamel. Why not? Partnered over for Furlong. Why not? Up ahead for Desnoyers. He'll chip that one in. Ellis racing out of his net to play it. Behind the net for Noah Lowen. Lowen taken 14th overall by the Cape Breton Eagles back in 2017. One pick after is good buddy, Justin Barron. Lowen dealt to the Islanders for Derek Gentile back in December of 2018 as Budgel plays it over for Trudeau up ahead. DeRousseau able to poke that one in. Horvath works that one around for Tomlinson. Mooseheads in transition. Dubé ahead for Orr. Orr toward the net. He'll snap that one wide. Horvath keeping it in. He's got it deep. Horvath takes a look. Spots Swan a shot. Scramble around the net. And Casey finding it. He'll clear it out as the Moose had a pretty good opportunity right there to try to regain the lead for the first time since the midway point of the first period.
It's the second time Horvath has kind of jumped up into play in recent minutes. Had a golden opportunity a little earlier that Colton Ellis made his 25th save of the afternoon on.
Casey will force that one in deep and head after it. Bumps with Lucas Robinson down there in the Mooseheads corner. Time ticking down. Puck frozen up along the boards. Again, that puck still kind of pinned up along the wall as Tessier reaches for it. Got tripped up by Gill. LeBlanc in to help out. To Gallant. Broken up by the Mooseheads. Robinson over for Orr, and he couldn't handle that pass. LeBlanc circles out at center. Makes his way in down the right wing. He'll send it high and off the glass back beyond the Mooseheads goal. Furlong trying to fish this one out. Got caught up in some skates over there in the corner. Furlong able to poke it over for Landon Myron, and now kind of losing an edge was LaRue, but from his backside able to clear it out. Sam Oliver will force this one down into the Mooseheads end. Why not? Taking a bump back there from Beauregard. Elliott on it for the Islanders. Back up top for Lowen. He'll take a look. Snaps a shot, and that deflects off of LaRue and wide. And what a chance for Oliver at the side of the net, with the puck just skipping over his stick. And looks like the net slightly ajar back there behind Cole McLaren as we get a whistle. Just a minute 58 to go in this third period, all tied up at 3.
I think that's a much welcome whistle for the Mooseheads at this point. It's been a long time between whistles, and the Islanders with the puck deep in their zone for the last couple of minutes here, so they get a little breather and chance for a line change and see if they can turn this momentum in the final minute 58.
The final countdown. Face-off to Cole McLaren's right, and the Islanders, Cormier with a shot off the draw there. Horvath will flip this one out. Trudeau deep in Islanders territory. Flips one in. That was knocked down by Horvath. Caught up in the skates of Casey. Casey over for Cormier, who takes a bump from Pettin, but able to hand it off for Casey. Back for Trudeau as the Islanders regroup in their own zone. Cormier with speed back the other way. Drives right up the middle. Good control here from Cormier. Spots Trudeau. A shot. Loose puck. McLaren got knocked over. It may have been by a Moosehead's teammate there. That seemed to be what the officials were indicating.
Yeah, I don't think Cole knew who hit him, but the referee obviously did. But he's kind of down and maybe expecting an interference call to be called, but lucky to get away unscathed there.
LaRue trying to dance his way in. Lost an edge there. Kind of got tripped up, and Islanders will send it out. Desnoyers right back on it. Drives this one in deep. Over for Dumais. Jordan Dumais trying to work it free here. Up top for LaRue. A shot, and that was blocked. Gallant will send it off the glass, but Robinson down, able to keep that one in. Bouncing puck. Gill spins. Able to knock it up ahead, and that's played with a high stick by Robinson. LeBlanc will play it. Rolls it down toward McLaren. And swept this side there. Tessier. Alex Tessier taking his time with just 15 seconds left. Islanders trying to complete a line change right now as Gill heads off. Tessier just taking a look, and looks like both teams just electing to go to overtime here. So a bit of free hockey in the preseason for fans watching along on YouTube anyway.
Which is also free.
Absolutely.
Well, Tessier had no intention of playing that one, did he? He even had the time to look over the shoulder at the clock.
That was a pretty casual forecheck right there. Again, both teams pretty content just to let this one go to overtime.
We'll get 5 minutes of some 3-on-3 action.
Big evening, big afternoon for Zachary Leroux. We talked a bit about him. 2 goals and an assist. Chipped one in on that Elliot Desnoyers goal to force overtime. We've got overtime coming up for you in just a moment, but first some words from our presenter, Eastlink.
Introducing the new Eastlink TV experience. Now with TiVo, get voice command,
watch Jesse,
personalized recos, and all the content you love in one place. Spend less time searching and more time watching. That's the Eastlink Edge.
Game all the way home. Download the latest apps and share and share and share your photos. Get a mobile plan that puts data first, starting at only $40 a month. That's the Eastlink Edge.
Welcome
Game
back.
all the
You're
way
watching
home.
the 2020
Download
Halifax
the latest
Mooseheads training camp presented by Eastlink. We are overtime bound to wrap up the preseason. Islanders and Herd all knotted up at 3. And the big boys, they have been the story in this one for the Mooseheads. They're out to start it off. Leroux and Elliot Desnoyers up front. Jake Furlong, the rookie, on the back end. Landowski circling back in his own end. He's out here with Cedric Desrousseaux and Lucas Cormier. So Jim Holton with a couple of smooth skating blue liners out here to start off this OT. And why not? Landowski makes his way in. A shot through the legs of Furlong. That was knocked aside by McLaren as Desrousseaux tried to step out front. And Desnoyers, who's lost his stick, trying to kick that one away. He's got it back. Furlong, back for Elliot Desnoyers. He'll cut wide, dropped off for Leroux. Lets a shot go. Whistles that one wide. It's off the end boards. Collected by Cormier. Back up ice. Desrousseaux. High slot, a shot. McLaren the save. It's in. They score. That will roll in past McLaren. And the Islanders have won it in overtime.
It didn't take long, Gareth. Just a minute and 2 into the overtime period. And one I think Cole McLaren would like to have back as it just kind of sneaks through on that shot by Desrousseaux. And Cole tries to dive back to save it, but a little too late there.
Yeah, great little burst of speed from Lucas Cormier carrying that one off ice. And nice pass for Cedric Desrousseaux. Good shot. As you said, McLaren may have wanted that one back, but we'll get an opportunity to try to get back in the win column on Friday night when the real thing starts.
That's right. The real thing will start on Friday in Sydney, Cape Breton at Center 200 against the Eagles. The Mooseheads will finish the 2020 preseason presented by Eastlink with a 3-1-1 record. Of course, this was their second overtime game of the preseason. They won in a shootout in Cape Breton in that very first game of the preseason 2-1. And looking forward to the regular season getting going here against the Eagles, Gareth, next Friday, and then Saturday at Scotiabank Center, of course, in front of fans in Halifax for the first time in quite some time.
Yeah, it'll be great. We're looking forward to it. Looking forward to providing some calls and News 95.7 this season as well. And, yeah, we can't wait. Battle of Nova Scotia, great way to start off the regular season. Live from Center 200 in Sydney on Friday night. So we'll look forward to bringing you the action on that one. Scott, a lot of fun doing these games with you. Big thanks, like you said, to Neil Gordon, Alec Cook, Ben Mendelson, the crack team we've got working there.
Oh, great job by those guys. Like I said, we kind of pulled this together just before the preseason, and Ben, Alec, and Neil have been a tremendous help, and really enjoyed being able to present it here on YouTube, and maybe we'll do it again next year.
Huge thanks as well, of course, to all the fans who have joined us here. It's some good feedback during the game. Great to see some lots of viewers, lots of folks following along at home. That's been fantastic.
Yeah, so thanks again, and I guess that'll wrap it up from RBC Center here in Dartmouth. It's a 4-3 final. The Islanders win it in overtime. Cedric Desrousseaux getting the goal from Lucas Cormier at 1:02, and we'll throw it to our presenting sponsor, Eastlink, here from the Mooseheads preseason.
We bid you adieu.
Introducing the new Eastlink TV experience. Now with TiVo, get voice command,
Watch Jesse.
personalized recos, and all the content you love in one place. Spend less time searching and more time watching. That's the Eastlink Edge.